KROQ, Klein Alley Show on a Monday. Alley's very sunburned. You can see the proof up on our socials at Klein Alley Show. We will get into your news now. Then we get into a brand new hour of the show, and that is exactly when we will give you a key that could start your very own Green Day signature Corvette.
Good.
All you got to do is listen for the song Holiday. This is the last warning I give you before we play the song. Be sure to call us up. Be caller 10 800-520-1067. And that car could and will be yours, plus a trip to Chicago to see Green Day at Wrigley Field. Giving that away this week. All the details up on the socials at Klein Alley Show and KROQ. Right now, though, your news.
Grab your Adderall. No, seriously, grab it. The shortage is real. It's time for ADD News. By the way, if you need any, I know a guy.
All right, if you live in Highland Park or thereabouts, you may have gotten up a little earlier than you intended because there was an earthquake this morning at 3.2. And it was one of those ones where it's just one big jolt, a shake where it kind of feels like the world went over a speed bump. And it happened just after 5 a.m. Great way to wake up. And
Jake, do you feel that, or you were already here?
I was already here.
apparently the new average now is that the LA area gets 5 earthquakes a year that are between 3 and 4 on the old scale.
3 and 4 is my favorite. If I have to pick my favorite on the Richter scale, it's the 3 to 4 range because it's enough to feel and to go like, whoa, that was cool, but like nothing really gets
no
damaged.
Injuries, no anything
just
to
like,
report.
It's just a little like quick like wake up call,
yeah.
But it's like nice. Over 4 starts to feel a little, start to go like I should probably move.
I like a 3.8.
And then the 2s.
3.8, 3.9
yeah,
feels good.
yeah, 3 to 4 is a nice range. Like that fun range to be in.
Yeah, I hate it when it's like a 3.2 and then it's like, actually it was a 2.
Yeah, when they downgrade it.
And you're like, oh.
Man,
I'm
yeah,
such
no.
a loser.
Yeah, anything, but it's also, they claim where it was, epicenter, this and that. I wasn't sure if that was an earthquake in Highland Park or that was just Jake moving all of his stuff out of his girlfriend's place.
Yeah, we got to get an update on that.
Apparently that is now officially game over, so we'll have to talk about that later in the show today.
All right, half of Americans take vacation feel guilty while they're on vacation. Happens all the time. More and more people are trying to unplug and digitally detox as much as they can on vacation to feel like they can fully relax and unwind from all of the burnout that's built up over the months. But then when you get back, apparently, according to a study, the anxiety comes flooding back so quickly that it essentially cancels out the vacation itself. And they suggest that when you come back to an anxious environment like work, you should come up with some sort of meditation schedule and schedule downtime for yourself so that you can ease back into work and maintain some of the calm that you found when you went away.
It's impossible. I mean, it's so stupid. I understand in theory why you'd say that, but it's just not happening. And I told you I have a friend that does this move when he goes away. He books a hotel for one night in L.A., like when he gets back, so he can have one night of decompression.
Yeah.
And that's, in theory, that sounds like a great plan. The reality of that, like I even said to him, are you still doing that? He's like, no, that got shut down pretty quick.
Do you feel
But
like...
I thought that was a cool idea. That it's like you're easing yourself back into real life.
Yeah. And I like that idea. But do you also ease yourself back into work by working earlier? Like, okay, on this break that we have that's a week or whatever, I'm going to spend one day, maybe 2, just doing a little bit of light work so that I feel like when I get back, I don't have to, do as much work.
Well, my dad said a very depressing thing when I was younger that's really stuck with me. But he said if we take a week-long family vacation, like 5 days away, the first 2 days you spend still freaking out about leaving and all the things you didn't get done. You get 1 day to relax and kind of feel like, oh, this is nice. And then the next 2 days you go, well, got to start getting back. Got to start. Yeah. That was such a depressing way to look at it.
But I think that's why people are taking, weeks-long vacations now.
Right.
People are like, I'm going to go for 2-3 weeks and really, because the most relaxed I ever felt was on my honeymoon, and that was the only 2-week vacation I've ever been on in my life.
And that's the reality of that used to be most people. Like, this is the best your vacation is going to get until you retire.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, I don't want to go by that standard clock of the way the world works, so I'll just take all the weeks I want.
So those planters and garden beds that were planted along the sidewalk at Sunset and Highland, they're being removed. They were put in May because a bunch of the owners of the shops there said these homeless encampments have completely blocked off the access to their stores. And one place in particular, Sunset Sound, they said, we had no choice. We were asking the city to do something because we almost had to close down because nobody could access our shop. And then at one point, there was somebody who came in and crapped on our drum set. And then there were a bunch of thieves that were taking stuff, and then there was also arson in there. So they were like, enough is enough. We have to do something on our own because the city's not helping us. So they put the planners in, and now the city is coming and taking the planners away because they're unauthorized. They're not supposed to be there. But now there's this big question of, well, if you're not going to help us and you're taking away the help we're giving ourselves, then what's the solution here?
Well, listen, I've given you the solution a million times on the show, but no one is listening. And that's the problem.
Was it the idea of sending the homeless to an island? Because that seems inhumane.
No. Moats.
Oh, that's right.
Moats. Why are we putting planters? Planters are not a deterrent. You know what it is?
That'll make it easier to get to the shop. A moat.
Yeah, a moat would be because a customer would be able to use the drawbridge, Jake, you dummy.
Okay.
Klein, Alley,
Show! Mornings on KROQ!
106.7 KROQ.
Find out what's going on in the world together. It's your ADD News here at KROQ. Then a brand new hour of the show kicks off. We got tickets for you to go see Quiet Place Day 1. That's happening next hour. But first, this.
grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. Wait, to make sure you're not a robot, click all the pictures with a mouth. Good. You can come in now.
It's an interesting time for game shows right now. Pat Sajak is officially out. He's retired. Alex Trebek is being tributized on a forever stamp. And Vanna White is already threatening to quit because she hates working with Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, man, ain't that the truth?
At least that's the rumor. There are a lot of rumors going around about how this new relationship is going. Some say that Vanna is not jiving with Seacrest and that her new contract expires in 2026, but she's already considering leaving earlier because she's just not getting along with him. But then Seacrest people are like, there's no truth to this whatsoever. Vanna and Ryan are having a lovely time together. But the question is, if she leaves, who would replace Vanna White? It seems like it seems like an antiquated role even to have in 2024. That's what I think. I think you either go no letter turner or just robot letter turner, because I feel like the whole antiquated, like, girl in a sexy slinky dress turning letters kind of seems weird to have like a new young person doing that.
Yes.
Like, she's the old classic. She was around when that was a thing, and they had the girls that reveal the prizes and all that stuff. And even Prices right now, they have like male and female ones, and they're like not as sexy now.
Oh, God. Some plus-size man coming out to show me the hot tub I could win? Forget it.
I like dumplings.
How you going to replace that woman right there? That's Vanna at her finest. She likes dumplings.
I will say, though, if you think about it, the right guy to model a hot tub is a big fat white guy.
Yeah,
they're the ones who really love hot tubs.
Probably you're right, because you hide all their shame under the bubbles. Yeah. That's a good point.
Come on in. I'll talk your ear off about my car.
I'll tell you what I want to invent is a way to get into a hot tub underground. I don't like the part where I have to disrobe and then get into it.
You want to be able to just sprout out from inside.
I want to be like a groundhog. I want to just be in the bubble so no one has to see me get into it. That
would be funny.
That's what there should be a different entrance way in if you don't look good.
I would like to see the people modeling the items that would actually use those items.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
You know,
yeah.
Like the person who's the guy who's actually on a jet ski. He probably has like not all his teeth.
Right. The big mullet, the whole thing.
Yeah, he's got a big neck tattoo.
Yeah, definitely like a Florida redneck sort of thing.
Totally.
But the reality is that they want people to watch Wheel of Fortune or whatever the game show is. And anytime you can add an attractive person, I know it seems antiquated to say this, but let's just be honest for a second. We all like looking at hot people. Everyone likes looking at hot people, even if you're not hot.
I know. And I mean, that's still, movies and TV shows are still crawling with hot people for that
There
reason.
are shows I will watch, and they're not good shows. And I will watch them because the people in there are hot. The women are hot. And
because you are superficial.
Yeah, that's right. And I want to be entertained sometimes, and that's what I want to see. So their whole idea is like, we'll do this stupid puzzle show, but we'll also give you a little eye candy for the old perverts to watch. And they put her there for years, and it worked.
Yeah, I know. But even now, like, do you think she's eye candy now?
Not anymore, but I mean, I think that she kind of got grandmothered into it, or whatever the term is.
So you think if they replaced her with like Gigi Hadid or something, everyone would watch Wheel of Fortune again?
If they replaced her with Sydney Sweeney, that show would be the highest rated show in all of television. I'm not even kidding. Put her in Sweet Knockers.
Ryan Seacrest would have to pretend to be attracted to her.
Yeah, he'd have to do that whole thing like, oh, look at you, huh?
Oh, look at those gazongas.
If only you had a penis. Oh, damn it. No.
That's not what I meant to say.
Oh, why did I say that?
All right, I feel like there's a lot more people that are going missing on hikes lately. Maybe it's just me, but most of the people who get lost hiking are not on big month-long treks or anything. They're just doing short little day hikes, and then boom, the weather changes, someone gets injured, or they're just not paying attention. All of a sudden, you're lost. This guy went on a hike. This was up north in Santa Cruz Mountains, and he was lost. He was just found after 10 days. He got lost because some of the recent wildfires kind of changed the landscape. And then his family reported him missing after he didn't show up to his own Father's Day dinner. But he went hiking on June 11th, and Father's Day was June 16th. So imagine that your family doesn't even report you. You can be missing for 5 whole days without anybody being like, maybe we should check and see how this guy's doing. But they eventually found him because of a drone. A drone was able to go over the landscape and find him, but he was yelling for help, and people heard him, and they were like, and just kind of kept walking because they didn't know where he was. They just heard him. Well, he lost his voice because he was yelling so much.
If I hear people yelling for help these days, my first thought is someone's doing a TikTok video, and I don't want to be the idiot that gets pranked. So I'm going to let them just yell. Because I don't want to be the person that runs over like I'm going to be a hero.
And if this means someone's going to die, that's okay.
Yeah, as long as I don't die of embarrassment, it's a win.
Well, he said he drank a gallon of water every single day from like creeks and waterfalls nearby, and that's how he survived. But he said that I probably wouldn't have been able to last that much longer because my body really needed food. But this guy, the picture, looks like he looks like Castaway.
Yeah.
Like after 10 days.
But I also wonder if that's how he looked going into the hike. Because of these mountain men types, the people that really like to go on these hikes, like I would never do that because there's not a couch or a TV in the mountains. So I would never do it.
He only had the clothes on his back, a hat, a flashlight, and a pair of scissors.
I also think a lot of people do these things on purpose and get lost so they can get like a Netflix gig out of it. Like I think that they want that survival story so they can be like, all right, I'll sell my rights for a book.
Like that couple that almost died in Joshua Tree.
Yes.
Definitely trying to get a Netflix show.
Definitely. That's what everyone's doing these days.
Klein Alley. Klein Alley Show.
KROQ, the world famous KROQ. KROQ.
Great new restaurant opening in Southern California. We'll get into that and more. It's a look of your ADD news. And then firework gunshot. People on the phone for that. So we'll give away some tickets for you. And all you got to do is determine whether or not this is the sound of a gunshot or a firework, because that's the game that everyone will be playing, whether you want to play it or not, for the next month here in Southern California. So that's coming up shortly. Right now, though, what's happening in the world?
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. News you need. Maybe.
Wanted to start off with a few closings and openings to tell you about. There have been a lot of iconic places closing recently. That Arby's on Sunset. The legendary Conga Room closed earlier this year. Just got news that the Varnish, which is a very influential cocktail bar in LA, is closing. Then we had Rubio's.
No, Rubio's, no.
And now one of the 7 Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle locations is closing. The one in Pasadena. They did say, though, that they are looking for a different location in Pasadena. So I think they do plan to reopen somewhere else. But for now, it's going to be only 6 locations of Roscoe's. And then...
Well, let me just say, Roscoe's is one of my absolute favorite
That's your
restaurants.
phone... It was your phone screen for a long time, wasn't
it?
Everyone
made fun of me that everyone else on the show that has kids or pets had their kid or their pet as their wallpaper on my phone, and I had the Carol C. number 13 from Roscoe's as my phone screen. And people mocked me for that, but I stand by that decision.
And you know what? That will help them stay afloat.
I'd like to believe that's true.
That's free promotion for them.
But I also think that not all Roscoe's are created equal, and there are certain Roscoe locations where I think it's better. And I think
there's
the
locations
Hollywood
like
one,
that for every chain.
Yeah, I agree. And so I don't know if that Pasadena one was as good.
I've only ever been to the one that's right by here.
There's the one by here, but the one in Hollywood's nice, and then the one by Randy's Donuts. That's a great Roscoe's.
Yeah.
Inglewood, that's good stuff.
And then let's go to the openings. Today is the day that the new Din Tai Fun in downtown Disney is opening up.
2 of my favorite. You just back-to-back 2 of my absolute favorite places.
Your current phone screen.
Roscoe. I'm changing Roscoe's out for Din Tai Fung. Those are both great choices.
And then the co-founder of the streetwear brand, The Hundreds, Ben Hundreds.
Oh, yeah, he opened a spot over the weekend.
He's opening a spot, he's opening his own restaurant on Melrose. It's like the Benjamin. It's a 1920s style twist on American classics. And I guess he's like teaming up with the people who did Spago, and he had like a mixologist that he's working with, and it's supposed to be a big deal.
Guy's a real food dude. I mean, he's a streetwear guy originally, but if they brought that Family Fest thing to, pretty much right up the street here on Fairfax, and they bring all these great food collabs together. It's this combination of food meets fashion. It's
just kind of interesting that all of these classic LA places are closing, and then this guy's opening a classic
A new classic.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
a new twist on classic food in LA. And you're like, what?
Hey, I know that if anyone's going to be going to that Din Tai Fung in Disney, they got some merch that you can only get if you are at that place. There's a couple of shirts with dumplings on them I really want to get my hands on. If you're going to be, please DM me if you're going to be by there later. I'll send you, I'll Venmo you. I really want some of this stuff. It's really cool. I know I'm like a grown-ass man. I shouldn't care about a hoodie that has a dumpling on it. But it's a limited edition merch drop at the Din Tai Fung opening at Disney. And I do want it. So I'm just saying.
Of all the merch at Disney that people want.
Yeah, I want the dumplings hoodies. I really do. Please, someone.
Some of them do look cool. All right, Sum 41 wants your help. They're officially breaking up as a band. I would say it's the most amicable breakup other than Jake's. But before they go, lead singer Derek Whibley wants to find their former lead singer and make peace with him and get some closure. They had a lead singer named John Marshall when they first started. He was only with the band a year, and then according to Derek, he just left, and no one has ever heard from him since. He said, we were 16, and when we knew him, he was in this delirium, no plan B. We destroyed everything. He was my best friend, and then he left the group never to be seen again. So he wants to, even one of the songs on their new album is dedicated to him, and they want to find him and just kind of make peace and see that he's okay before they officially break up.
But what would be the benefit of that for this guy? This guy was in a band that turned out to be a very successful band that made a ton of money, and he was one of those guys that bailed right before they probably broke big and never got a piece of it.
I don't know. It just said he left the group. I don't know if it was him leaving or them kicking him out. Maybe there was some bitterness there. Maybe it's been resentment for many, many years. And wouldn't you want to make peace with that before you officially close the chapter on Sum 41?
It's got to be so hard to be that person. Because I know, even 21 Pilots, there was a third guy in 21 Pilots, and that guy stepped away because he's like, I don't think this is going anywhere. And then they ended up being monstrous.
God.
All the bands have a person like that at one point.
I'm that person.
Oh, yeah. As soon as Allie leaves this show.
I don't believe in myself.
We are going to succeed massively.
I think I'm going to check out and do finance.
Oh, God, please. Hey, thanks for checking out some of our radio show on KROQ. Just between you and me, we're about to fire Allie, so hopefully you didn't get used to her too much. But thanks for checking it out, and we appreciate you checking out the live radio show. And
hey, what are you guys doing?
Nothing.
But you're filming something. Aren't they supposed to be involved in this?
We're not filming anything.
There's a camera right there.
Just part of the... Bye.